guys, Elizabeth, curly-haired country gal here. We had a fantastic trip to Colorado and now we're headed home. I dive into teaching class tomorrow, so today's the day to record my video for the goals that I had from last year and how that went, and upcoming goals for 2023. Let's do this thing. We're packed like sardines in the truck. The kids are in the back. Jared's driving. He's doing great. We're over halfway home. So from last year, I'm just going to show you what we had going on. From 2022, we had chicken goals, raised bed goals, food forest, bee, rabbit, pig. And this is in Trello, where I keep these goals in this organization. You can make an account for free. And then I have everything that I did complete. So I'm just going to talk about that really briefly. So I have my beautiful color coding over here. Now I had 24 or 25 goals for 2022 and I completed 19 of them, which is great. So one of the goals that I didn't complete was with the rabbits, raising 25% of the meat for the year. I have rabbits now, which is great, but I didn't get around to breeding them last year. So we'll talk about that for the 2023 goals. Now, the other thing I didn't complete was for the pig goals, I guess, was to complete the fencing and complete the housing. But again, we'll talk about that because my whole idea with how to go about pigs has really changed, and it's going to be changing a little bit to multi-species grazing, not just pigs, so we'll talk about that. So then on here with the food forest goals, my first goal was to make compost for free, and I did accomplish that, so I'm very excited. I'm focusing largely on using wood shavings and grass/leaves for the feed plus food scraps for the compost, and I'm going to keep doing that this next year. And then the other thing that I had hoped to do with the food forest for 2022 was to do a lot of planting, especially of berries, and the watering system. I was able to get the watering system set up with the water right hoses and the timers and all that, as well as plant strawberries, construct the retention wall for the first row, plant raspberries, plant blackberries, and plant grapes. So I'm hoping to just maintain that and encourage those berries to keep growing. But you'll see with the 2023 goals that my goals for raising vegetables and fruit are a lot more limited this year. So the raised bed goal that I had for this year was basically just to have the salad greens garden, and I did do that with varying amounts of success with the amount that we ended up producing, because I kind of let it go. I didn't get a watering system in there, but I did plant it and it did grow for at least a while, which is great. As far as the bee goals, that was my first year of beekeeping, and I think it went really well overall. The goal that I had was to construct 3 hives, and I did that. And then I was able to harvest honey in October. I completed Dr. Leo's book. I completed his training in March. I didn't actually need to construct a swarm trap because I bought one, but I put up the swarm traps. And then I have down here that I wanted to construct a horizontal hive. That's kind of redundant because I have it up above, so I'm just gonna take that out of there. But the bee goals went really well. I already discussed the pigs a little bit, and then with the rabbitry, my goal was to complete the rabbitry, and I did that. And I also had hoped to purchase 2 does and 2 bucks, and I now have 9 does and 3 bucks, so I would definitely say that's a success. And so now it's gonna be time pretty soon to start breeding them. And then as far as YouTube goes, those were some of the goals that I didn't quite reach, which is fine, but the goal that I did accomplish was to upload 100 videos, and so I'm over 100 videos, which is great. The last category that I haven't talked about yet was with the chickens. I had hoped to hatch out one batch of chickens, and I did 2 actually, which is great. And then I had hoped to raise 25% of chickens for the year, which was going to be about 14 chickens for, 1 per week. And so I did accomplish that. So now on to the 2023 goals. Now, as I mentioned, I had a lot of goals for 2022, about 24, 25, and I accomplished quite a few of them. For 2023, I only have about 13 goals. However, some of them are a lot bigger goals than they were last year. Well, as you can see, I still have chicken, food forest, bee, rabbit, and then you'll see this multi-species grazing is different. With the chickens, I hope to repair the grow-out tractor that I made last year, and it was just, I made it too flimsy. I'd need to put wheels on it and need to support it. And then I do hope to raise 100% of our chicken for a year. So about 50 or 52 chickens, 1 per week for the year. And then along with that, I'm going to replace the current layer. For the food forest this year, my goals are pretty limited, pretty easy here, I guess. And it's just to finish row 1 in the food forest of compost, and then to start row 2. That's largely going to be a byproduct just of continuing to make compost, because I want to continue making compost for free. For the bees, I have my 3 new hives, and so I need to construct 60 frames to go in each of those 20 frame hives. So that's something that I need to do before the spring, or as spring approaches, Lord willing. And then I hope to double the apiary in 2023. I went into the winter with 4.5 colonies. We'll see how many make it out of the winter, and then I hope to still catch more swarms and have 8 colonies this year, which would be so great. And then for the rabbits, I do hope to construct 2 grow-out tractors. I was planning on using Lorella's plans from Plan B Homestead, or potentially purchasing some chicken or rabbit tractors that are just on Facebook Marketplace and then modifying them. We'll see which one works out to being more time effective and cost effective. But then I do hope to raise about 50 or 52 rabbits to butcher for the year, and have 1 rabbit meal per week for a year. And then, like I mentioned before, this used to be the pig goals, now it's the multi-species grazing goals. And to get ready for that, that's going to be a pretty big project. To do that, I need to complete the fencing. That's going to take a long time, but I do have a friend from church who offered to help me, and Jared was kind enough to say that we could have some fence building dates. Another project with the multi-species grazing is to modify the horse trailer for it to be a shelter / water carrier for the hopefully cows and pigs and maybe a couple sheep. The nice thing about those 2 goals is that even if I totally nix the idea of getting cows and having pigs, we still want to fence in our property, and I still want to take good care of the horse trailer that we have so that it lasts a long time. So that's nice. And then this last goal kind of goes with the fencing, but we're going to have to construct quite a few gates for the multi-species grazing. And the last 2 goals are for YouTube, to go ahead and reach 100% of the subscribers that I need to be monetized, which is 1,000. And right now I'm sitting at about 570 after a little over a year, so over halfway there, which is great. And I'm confident that that's going to keep going up as I provide valuable information and make better and better videos. And then I do hope to reach 4,000 watch hours to accomplish the watch hours that I need so that I can be monetized. As I mentioned, I don't have any raised bed goals this year. I'm really going to focus a lot more on animals, and there's not really any infrastructure goals. That's kind of maybe built in with the multi-species grazing goals. And kind of ironic there how the acronym is MSG when the MSG is something that in food I definitely avoid. But I'm just going to show you real quick before we go how I kind of break this down into little micro pieces into kind of bite-sized chunks to make it doable. If we go up here, I have this other tab which leads to an Excel spreadsheet, and on here is where I really break things down into manageable chunks to get stuff done. More color coding. I have things that need to get done right away, and then just in each season. So this is a little bit more organized than how I had it last year, and if I don't follow it perfectly, that's fine, but it just gives me an idea of what I should work on first and what I can work on in different seasons. So there's quite a bit that I can work on this winter. So incubating the eggs, that's a pretty passive thing to do, which is nice. And then I have things to work on in the spring, more incubating eggs, more breeding of the rabbits, and then spring and summer are definitely very busy with homestead stuff, as you may know, but I do hope to catch some swarms, set up more areas for the bees, etc. So these are just some of the things I can work on in the spring. The summer is going to be busy with more breeding, potentially splitting one of the beehives to get to that number of 8, or maybe even more, we'll see. And then I'm hoping the summer can be a solid time to work on fencing for the cows and the pigs. And then there's stuff that I could be doing in the fall, more breeding, etc. And then down here is where I really break it down into what I can do kind of week by week, because again, I really only have like 1 day a week to work on homestead tasks. I'm busy teaching class